Turbo Tristan here. Today we are taking the CL9 race car, aka Ronda, to the racetrack for the very first time. I'm driving it to the track on a permit. We've got the paperwork just down there. It's only a very short trip. This is going to be my only time driving it today. We're going to hand the keys over to Josh, and he's going to put some laps on the car and shake it down. It's driving really nice. It's feeling really good. It's sounding awesome. And we've got everything ready. The only thing that could probably let us down is the clutch. But we'll see how we get on today. Stick around and I'll show you what Ronda can do. G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. So first up in Ronda we have Josh. Just keep in mind, Josh has not driven a manual car in around about 15 years or so, he tells us. Something tells me that he's lying though, because he's an absolute natural. This is his outlap, so you just putt around. He's already done one session, but most of that session was done following a pace car, just so the inexperienced guys could get to learn the track. But here he is, out on the track for his first time. I'll shut up in just a moment, but let's watch Josh in action. Very smooth. Only thing I could possibly pick him up on was he wasn't revving the car hard enough. You can have a look at the tacho. It should be straight up and down. He's revving it to around about 5.5, just under 6,000 RPM. Now this is a K24 out of a CL9's 100% standard, so it's not a high revving engine, but it should hit rev limiter around about 7 and a little bit, maybe up to 7.5 max. But Josh is just short shifting. One thing about that though, being that this is an budget enduro car, is Josh is definitely going to save the car's transmission and engine, and it makes him very, very consistent. Josh's times were between 140 and 142 the entire day, which is excellent for someone who hasn't had a lot of track time and hasn't driven manuals for a very long time. So I think you'll agree, Josh is a natural. If I was team leader in the endurance race, I'd send Josh out first so he at least gets some runs on the board and get the car around hassle free. Alright, switching over to the front camera now. We've got a couple of different camera angles for you in this video. I believe this is John driving. John has a very, very fast Stinger. You've seen him on the other videos. He's our PROTEX brakes man. There goes someone who forgot about corners on racetracks. Check this out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. And so back to John. John is the PROTEX brakes man, and as you can see, he's giving the car a little bit more of a hard time, and by that I just mean revving it all the way out. John's quite an experienced racer. He's always at the drag strip. He's done a ton of track days in his Kia Stinger that does 1 minute 27 around the track, which is damn fast. That's actually, my PB is 127, and he does that in his daily driver, which is incredible. You'll see these guys, they are all about going fast in a straight line, and you watch Ronda catch them all in the corners. So here is Ronda coming up on a GTS HSV Commodore. This thing has a badge on the back that says 325 kilowatts. It's definitely had work to it. You can hear it in the noise that it makes. Through the corners, no match for Ronda the race car. Now whether that just comes down to experience or handling, or the guys just not knowing what to do when you're not in a straight line, you can see it doesn't really even pull that much on Ronda down the straight even, which is pretty crazy. Ronda's probably making 115, 120 kilowatts at the front wheels, absolute max. check these guys out in the corners. Now, being that this is a friendly track day, it's not a competition, you're not allowed to pass people on corners, so you can see Rhonda going extra hard on the brakes so that we don't run up the back of any expensive cars. So good work to John and Josh for remembering that and not driving too aggressively on the track, but you can definitely see Rhonda on those MAXPEEDING rods coils definitely hugs the corners. Here you can see the needle on the dial of the in-car footage with John driving. Rhonda's now hitting redline. You can hear the VTEX as the crossover happens. There's a couple of different crossovers I found in this K24. One around about midway through the RPM range, and then one about 6-ish thousand RPM, maybe a bit higher, 6.4, something like that, on the dial. And you can see the needle is just a bit past 12 o'clock, which means John is giving it some stick. Good on you, John. Rhonda is loving every minute of it. have some of John's draggy footage. It's a little bit shaky just due to the camera mount that we had in the car for the draggy. The phone is heavy, so it's making it shake, but this gives you an idea of the speed, when he's hitting the brakes, the lap time, the temperature, everything you need to know, whereabouts on the track he is. Sorry about the shaky camera, but I hope you'll enjoy all of this data. Onboard telemetry, we're getting fancy here, and some lap time info. Check it out. going to conclude today's Tampered Motorsports shakedown of a Ronda the race car. Not too bad at all. Like, definitely the most reliable car I've ever taken to the racetrack, that's for sure, without saying. Best time was done just recently, 140.1, which is not breaking any world records. I'm actually slightly disappointed in that. I thought it would be faster. I met an awesome guy here today. I didn't catch his name, with the CL7. That guy was doing 130s in basically the same car. It had a carbon front and rear trunk, obviously a Type R engine, much better tyres, much better brakes, but it just shows there's a lot left in this car and this chassis. We're going to lighten it out with getting rid of all the sound deadening. I might trim out some of the metal in the doors, get rid of anything we don't need in the car, and we'll see what we can get out of it. But it's definitely an awesome budget race car. At the moment, as we're sitting right now, this car owes around about $150, maybe $200, not including fuel and oils. So this is definitely the best budget race car money can buy. 249,000 kilometers. The oil and everything's crystal clean, just absolutely perfect.